Hi, I'm Jeff, and welcome to another one of my videos where I take a look at all the new comic books coming out on either May the 3rd or 4th, 2022. And I ask myself the question, what one new comic book would I buy this week if I could buy just one book? Well, this is an exciting week because it features May the 4th, Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you all. Let's go ahead and start off this video first by taking a look back at my pick from 2 weeks ago, which was Hulk, issue number 6. And the question remains, was it a worthy and worthwhile pick to be my just one book pick of the week? And the answer is, yeah, it was. It was a very slow, uneventful week. As you remember, I only talked about 4 books, and Hulk, issue number 6, was the premier one among them. I enjoyed it. It was very entertaining in the way that Hulk has always been entertaining to me, this Donny Cates run in particular, and in the way that Donny Cates books are entertaining to me. It was very over the top and awesome and cool, and I enjoyed it very much. The reservation I have is that I fear that Titan, the character of sorts that was introduced in this book, is going to be treated the way that many of Donny Cates' other creations are going to be treated. This awesome thing is going to be introduced to us and then just kind of put off to the side and forgotten about, possibly never to be seen ever again. I mean, the Black Winter from Thor left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. People spec'd hard on that character because it was awesome. People were excited about it and then just went away. Now, I don't think that's the end of Black Winter, and I don't think that this is the end of Titan. Titan is basically, by the way, a Hulk version of Hulk. If Bruce Banner has a Hulk, then Hulk has a Hulk as well, and Hulk's Hulk is Titan. All right, so I'd like to see more of this character. I hope we do. I think it's pretty awesome and potentially overpowered, but only time will tell. But in the meantime, did I enjoy the single issue? Yes. Do I recommend reading it? Sure. Do I recommend buying 7 copies of it like I did? Probably not. But if you bought it, if you read it, if you enjoyed it, if you didn't enjoy it, let me know your thoughts about Hulk issue number 6 down in the comments. All right, let's go ahead and move forward with the rest of this video. Next, by taking a look at the books that are coming out this week. Now, similar to, I believe it was last week, I'm having a hard time narrowing it down to just 6. There's kind of a 7th one that I want to mention this week. So I'm going to go ahead and do 6 honorable mentions and then my just one book pick for the week. And I'm going to try to do it with as little commentary as possible. The first book I want to mention to you this week is Flashpoint Beyond, issue number 1 of a 6-issue limited series from DC. Here's the description. Batman's hunt for the Clockwork Killer brings him to Europe and face to face with the Mad King Aquaman. On the eve of Aquaman's sinking of London, Batman infiltrates his stronghold and goes on the warpath for answers. Nothing matters to Batman, whose world is already dead. But if he can track down the Clockwork Killer, Thomas can save his son's world and put everything back together again. All right, well, Thomas is Thomas Wayne. In this kind of alternate reality version of Batman, Thomas Wayne is Batman. And once again, this is an alternate reality version of these characters, which can be really great for storytelling. I mean, I don't think there's been more stories told about any single character ever than there have been told about Batman. So the best way to find a way to tell new Batman stories is to put him in a different type of universe, different reality type of situation. And that's exactly what they are doing here. So that can be really, really great and entertaining for storytelling. Probably not so great for speculation, but then you never know. Will some alternate universe character be pulled into the more standard DC universe at some point? Who knows? And this series in general seems like it is going to be giving us a lot either new characters or alternate versions of characters. So first and foremost, I would say check out this series for the read, but there might be some spec potential there as well. So even month to month as issues of this come out, pay attention to it and see what's coming out of it. And if any of it interests you, maybe consider picking it up. The next book I want to mention to you is a new book. It is called Starward, issue number 1 of an 8-issue limited series from Heavy Metal magazine. Here's the description. Stephanie Cohen's life is all going according to plan. The only problem is the plan isn't hers. She's crushing it at college, but her fast track to a medical degree is something her parents decided for her, seemingly at birth. Stephanie was never consulted on her own life. So now she's drowning in pre-med when she'd rather be studying classics, folklore, and mythology. But on the eve of her 20th birthday, as Stephanie prepares to stare into her own personal summer abyss for yet another day, she gets a gift unlike any she could possibly expect. Okay, what I like about this is that they tell you very little. They just give you the basis of who this character is, and then they say she gets a gift unlike any she could possibly expect, which based off of the cover here makes me believe it's some kind of cosmic power or something like that. And that's interesting to me. So that's why I mentioned this book to you this week. It's just a gut feeling. It's a gut feeling to me that it could be a pretty good story because it begins so rooted in the kind of character that I think we all can understand, who's having her own kind of internal personal conflicts, which I think we all can understand, and then something happens to completely change her life. It's a concept, a story concept that's as old as time, but it's a good one. And I think that this might be something worth checking out this week if you're looking for something a little bit kind of out there to check out. The next book I want to mention to you is Dogs of London, issue number 1 from Aftershock Comics. Here's the description. How deep must you bury a body to make sure it doesn't haunt you? Frank and Terry are about to find out. They were once members of the Dogs, a feared gang who ruled much of London's underworld back in the swinging 60s. They thought they'd escaped their troubled pasts, but the past isn't dead. It's just bashed about a bit and very pissed off. Spanning different times and classes, Dogs of London is a brutal, bloody tale of violence, love, revenge, and sleeping dogs who refuse to roll over and play dead. Written by Peter Milligan. Come on, if you're gonna make that much noise, come on, get up here. Come on, jump. There she is. Hey, it's Daisy, everybody. Running around like a crazy person. All right. Yes, you're in the video. Okay. Thank you for the kisses. Thank you for interrupting. Now sit there and let's continue with Dogs of London. She heard me talking about Dogs of London. She's like, that sounds like something I want to check out, Daddy. Okay, yes, Dogs of London. Okay. Dogs of London is a brutal, bloody tale of violence, love, revenge, and sleeping dogs who refuse to roll over and play dead. Written by Peter Mulligan, and brought to bloody life by Articida, the dogs have awoken, and they seek more than mere revenge. Well, it's endorsed clearly by Daisy, so I mean, why wouldn't you check it out yourself? Frankly, I picked this book because it sounds kind of interesting to me, similar to the last book, Starward. It just sounds like it could be an interesting, cool story to check out. There's nothing, and it's the kind of thing that honestly I could see being adapted into a television show or a movie. Why? Because there's probably been a billion television shows and movies with this exact same plot. So take that with a grain of salt, but it does sound interesting to me, so I wanted to point it out to all of you this week. The next book I want to mention to you is Spider-Man 2099 Exodus Alpha, issue number 1. I think it's either Alpha or issue number 1. This is from Marvel Comics. Here's the description. Miguel O'Hara is back. After fighting battles across the time stream, Miguel O'Hara is at last back, defending his present and our future. For Spider-Man 2099, the only thing constant about life in Nueva York is change. So when a cataclysmic crash creates a new Garden of Eden in what was once the American wastelands, Spider-Man knows exactly what the next atrocity will be. Watch as the Cabal plans to set society ablaze, and you'll never guess who is leading them. Okay, so why did I pick this book this week? Well, two reasons. One, we're going to be seeing a lot more Spider-Man 2099. I think that most people already know where. I'm very spoiler sensitive in these videos, so I'm not going to say exactly where, just in case people haven't already become aware of it themselves who are watching this video. I just will say that we will be seeing Spider-Man 2099 in something. So the fact that we're going to be seeing more of this character is reason for me to kind of flag something new in comic books from this character. But also, I think Spider-Man 2099 is pretty cool. You put him on the front cover here with Ghost Rider on that A cover, but then you just look at all of the covers here for this book, and it's kind of like, yeah, that looks pretty badass. And you know what? As a comic book reader and collector, I'm very into badass. So this one checks that box for me, so I had to, at the very least, point out to you that it's coming out this week. The next book that I want to mention to you is a new book. It is called Metal Society, issue number 1 of a 5-issue limited series from Image Comics. Here's the description. Miniseries premiere. Port of Earth writer Zach Kaplan teams up with hot up-and-coming artist Guilherme Balbi in a dramatic new sci-fi miniseries that's Blade Runner meets Rocky. In an inverted future, evolved robots have resurrected humans for manual labor. When a tribalistic cultural clash breaks out, a fearless human fighter and a frustrated, displaced robot will square off in a public MMA-style sport fight of epic stakes to determine once and for all who reigns supreme, man or a machine. Okay, this is one that jumped out at me because I can just imagine basically like 5 issues of fighting, of badass fighting. And immediately I think to myself, in order for any human to hold their own up against a robot fighter, that human has to be pretty amazing. So what I'm hoping is that if you're a fan of hand-to-hand combat, I hope that the artist here, I'm not going to even try to pronounce this name again, is really good at fight combat art, because it seems like that's what they're promising you here with this book. And I think that once again, that could be very, very awesome if well executed. So if this kind of thing interests you, you see it on the shelf, I would open it up, flip through it. If the art looks cool to you, I'd pick it up and check it out and see if it delivers on its promises. And if the art's a little flat for you and doesn't really capture your interest, it's probably not going to be worth checking out, because I do think it is going to be an art-heavy offering. Okay, how are we doing here? Okay, great. This is my last honorable mention, and it's a good one for this week. It is Star Wars, Obi-Wan Kenobi, issue number 1 of a 5-issue limited series from Marvel Comics. Here's the description. Fast approaches the ultimate destiny of one of the Jedi's most renowned masters. As he spends his final days in the remote deserts of Tatooine, Obi-Wan Kenobi takes time to reflect on and record key moments of a heroic life long lived. Writing in old leather-bound journals from his hermit's hut, Obi-Wan remembers his days as a young Jedi initiate, his trials as a Padawan, the crucible of Jedi knighthood and the Clone Wars, and some of the earliest challenges he faced as a true master of the Force. In this tale, Obi-Wan considers a watershed youngling's adventure he narrowly survived on Coruscant when he was but 8 years of age. This is just the beginning of his Jedi journey. Okay, so there's a few reasons why I picked this book this week. One, it's Star Wars. Star Wars is hard to pass up. Star Wars has got some really good stuff going on, and I'm happy to say there was a time when there was a lot of focus on the Star Wars movies, and I felt like Star Wars movies were becoming a little unimpressive. Let's just put it that way. But no surprise, Disney, Marvel Comics, everybody attached to Star Wars did not give up on this universe for storytelling. And they have really gone into it with the kind of the High Republic era and with the television shows like The Mandalorian. So that, I'm happy to say that we are in kind of what I would consider to be a positive period for Star Wars storytelling. Many thanks in part to The Mandalorian. In addition, Obi-Wan is a very cool character. He is, by definition, cool. Like, he's very calm, but he's also awesome. He is the first Jedi Master that we were ever introduced to in all of Star Wars mythology, way back in 1977 with Star Wars A New Hope. And he kind of set the tone, and he did so very, very well. And then Ewan McGregor in the prequels, I think, did a fantastic job of taking what Alec Guinness did so well in that first Star Wars movie and really continuing to make Obi-Wan Kenobi a character that people were very, very interested in. In addition, we were about to get the Obi-Wan Kenobi Disney Plus television series. And that's going to be with Ewan McGregor. So that's going to be very cool and very entertaining. Now, it's possible that this series will introduce characters to us, new characters, that we will then see in the Obi-Wan Kenobi television series. Possible. I'm not going to say probable, I'm going to say possible. It's possible that this will just be a complement and will tell completely unique and independent stories to that of the Obi-Wan Kenobi television show. But it's also possible that there might be some overlap. So this is a good book to check out, to have on your radar, to pick up, and especially since May the 4th is Star Wars Day, and this Star Wars book is coming out on Star Wars Day, this might be one worth checking out. All right, so that's all of my honorable mentions. Before I move on to my Just One Book Pick of the Week, I want to mention the books that I am pulling this week. Now, I am pulling the Obi-Wan book, definitely, no doubt about that. I am also pulling Batman issue 123. Batman is cool, and I'm really looking forward to Chip Zdarsky starting it with 125. I'm also picking up A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance, issue number 7, which is a story I continue to really enjoy. And we got a lot of backstory information in issue number 6, which is shining a whole new light on the story and where it's going, which I've really enjoyed how they kind of saved a lot of kind of important information until issue number 6. So that was good, and I'm entertained by this story. And then finally, once again, it is Star Wars Day on May the 4th, so we also have Star Wars proper, issue number 23 coming out on that day as well. This is a story that I've been enjoying more than I would have anticipated. And Charles Soule, who, I believe that's how you pronounce his name, who writes this Star Wars book and also writes a lot of other Star Wars comic books, was recently named like an official creative story consultant to the Star Wars universe. Like, he basically got a promotion. He's now, in a lot of ways, one of the people in charge of the story direction for the Star Wars universe. And that's good news for all of us, because he's been doing a good job with his comic books. And it's also good news for all of us comic book collectors, because it means that the work that he's been doing in Star Wars comics has just been legitimized even more than it already was. All right, let's go ahead and finally tell you about the one book that I would buy this week. If I could buy just one book, and that book is Twig, issue number 1 of a 5-issue limited series from Image Comics. Here's the description. Series premiere. Eisner Award-winning I Hate Fairyland and Middle West writer Scotty Young and artist Kyle Strom come together for an all-new epic fantasy adventure miniseries. It's the first day of Twig's new job as a journeyer on a Jeff Smith's Bone-esque quest to save a Dark Crystal / Labyrinth style world. Join our hesitant hero for an inspiring and imaginative tale of hope, heartache, and determination to overcome insurmountable odds. Okay, so this book was picked by me this week basically for one reason, and that's the hype. There's a lot of hype around this book. I was hanging out with my good friend Octavio that I've talked to you about in these videos before, especially in my Test Your Comic Book Grading Skills videos, and he was telling me about this ash can that he had bought for Twig. In fact, he bought 2 of them, and he got them for about $30 each, and he's like, yeah, I just think it might be interesting, and I think it might go somewhere. Well, not 2 or 3 days later did that ash can just get on everybody's radar, and the value of it just shot through the roof. I think it got up to $100 or more. So Octavio, once again, you did good on that. And so once people got this property on their radar, they got really, really excited about it. And when people get excited about something, that's a reason to take notice, you know, and it kind of, though, self-perpetuates the hype train. There's now a ton of store exclusives for this book. There's a lot more attention on this book than there might have been otherwise. Is it deserving? Well, only time will tell, but I like Scotty Young. Scotty Young is good. I missed out on Strange Academy, but I hope you didn't. The Strange Academy issue number 1 book is doing really, really well. The series is doing really, really well. And so Scotty Young has proven that he can be a comic book writer that is someone to pay attention to. Now, I have read The Me You Love in the Dark, which I really, really enjoyed. That did not get as much hype, but it was something that I really, really enjoyed. And I read this Twig description, and I think, well, this has children's movie or children's television series written all over it. It makes me think of something that was optioned like Kanto, of a cute character going on an adventure. These are the kind of things that children love, and children of all ages love. So I'm a little bit hesitant with this because I fear that the hype will overshadow any value that the story itself has. That unless it like blows up on the secondary market, or unless people are just saying like, oh my god, it's the best story of all time, that it's the value that it does have will be diminished. But like I said before, I have faith in Scotty Young. And I think that this could be interesting. The character is cute and looks like somebody that I want to read a story about. So I'm going to pick it up. It's a 5-issue limited series for now. So I can make a commitment to a 5-issue limited series and check it out. Maybe something will come of it. Maybe something won't. Maybe it'll be a good read. Maybe it won't be. But I'm optimistic that all of these good things could happen for this book. So that is why Twig, issue number 1, is my just one book pick for this week. All right, that's all the books that I wanted to talk about that are coming out this new comic book day, May the 3rd and May the 4th. But that being said, on May the 7th, we have Free Comic Book Day. Yay! So make sure that you go to your comic book store and pick up your new books, but then also go back on Saturday, May the 7th, for Free Comic Book Day. Pick up some free comic books and also support your local comic shop by buying a few things there as well. I'm going to make a video right now, as soon as I finish recording this one, talking about my just one book pick for Free Comic Book Day. So make sure you keep an eye out for that one. As always, if you like this video and this content, likes are appreciated by me. If you haven't subscribed already, I invite you to subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell. On behalf of a very resting Daisy, who interrupted, thank you, Daisy. Thank you. On behalf of Daisy and myself, we thank you all for watching this video. We'll see you in the next one.